And let's go. Hello, my name is Bryce Tubbs. With me today is Calysta. Now, I am super excited to be able to share her story because she's had a really great transformation in a very short period of time. I've actually been telling a lot of people about her story off and on for the last probably 2 weeks. So I just want to share with you guys. You guys can kind of see what's possible. Callista, can you please like just give a short introduction about yourself and like your company?
Yeah, so I'm a recent college grad. This past December, I graduated from a university up here in New York. Um, I started off in accounting, probably a year prior to that. I got a remote tax role and kind of started working my levels up, like in knowledge, I guess I would say, over the past like year and a half. And I kind of got sick of my current position. It was just like I felt like I was bringing a lot of value, building a lot of infrastructure that the company maybe didn't have before. And I felt like my time wasn't really being like, I wasn't getting paid basically what I felt like I deserved. And there wasn't really much room for discussion, I felt at the time. So I just left that position. And I had gotten in contact with Bryce probably 3 months prior to that, and we kind of discussed everything, and I thought everything sounded great. I just wasn't in a position to make that kind of commitment at the time. But we kind of talked again around that time that I left my prior position, and I wasn't in a place where I could commit to the program and I could commit to building my business. So I decided to take the leap. I left my full time position and I kind of worked to supplement my income during that time, and just started off by following what Bryce had told me, and trying to meet those goals every week. And sure enough, after probably a month or two, I finally started to sign people on, receive payments for my bookkeeping, and more importantly, for my marketing component, because I also have experience with social media, basically, like, getting everyone set up, like my clients, getting them set up, managing their profiles, their content, emails, website, um, which wasn't part of the program initially, but it was kind of something I just added in because I have those skills and people seemed interested in them. So after I saw that there was an obvious like need for this skill, I started pitching it, and now most of my clients are for marketing. However, I do have a couple bookkeeping clients at this moment in time, so it's definitely been a crazy transformation from not making enough to having a really positive outlook on my income and what I do on a day-to-day basis. A lot has lifted off of my shoulders in the past couple of months, and every week it seems like I'm reaching new goals that I wouldn't have previously thought were possible.
Uh, yeah, thanks and thanks for sharing that. Like, and let's even go a little bit deeper. So when we first started talking, right? I actually I forgot about that. Yeah, because when we first started talking, like you were just graduating from college, so you didn't really have a huge amount of money saved up. But when you first started your business, like I guess what were some of the challenges that you went through before we started working together?
Um, Really just the mindset. There was a lot of outside factors that made me believe that I didn't have the time, it would be too difficult, it would cost way too much. I wouldn't get any clients. I was too young to charge what I wanted to charge because I didn't have the experience. Da, 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 da. All those kind of things played into why I couldn't decide on what I wanted to do. I just was kind of like stuck. Um, but just putting it out there and letting people come to me if they wanted my services really it was just so easy. It was way easier and less complicated than I had initially believed.
Yeah, and tell us more about that because yeah, it's funny. It's like there's two places we can go with this because number one, it seems like mindset is like a really big thing, and like we talked about before the meeting. It seems like you are a lot more confident, and it's almost like I think we talked last week and you're like, dude, I'm closing like close to 80%. If I just get someone on the phone, they're paying me money. I guess like what do you think caused that transformation, have that kind of confidence and just self-assured that you can control your income?
This is gonna sound so stupid, but like I don't even know. I really have been doing a lot of affirmations, like a
Mm,
lot of just like rewiring because I come from a family where you either, you have like your master's degree and making like six figures after like 10 years of busting your butt doing all these programs just to get to that level. And so half of my family is like super against what I'm doing. Like they don't even understand that I can make money doing what I'm doing. And the other half is kind of just like not very optimistic and
uh,
just is very poor. Like I come from a very like my dad's side is very, there's some wealthy people on my father's side, but for the most part, we grew up very like, not having a great house or great school or whatever, like, so it's really difficult for people to believe that money can just come to you like if you put yourself out there and you believe like and you take the action because you if you never believe you'll never take the action, and I think that's like been my first step is just like immersing myself in different outlooks than I normally would have
mhm,
entertained maybe in the beginning of this year, where I'm saying, oh, I can't afford this, oh, I don't have the time for this, da, 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 da. But I still feel fine like complaining about it or like wishing that something would change versus believing that I have the capability, if I put my mind to it, to get into a different circumstance.
mhm. Let me ask you this question too, because this is a really interesting thing, right? Because you mentioned earlier, like about the age and like not having enough experience. Has it been kind of like a weird culture shock to when you say your price? You know, because I know you have a client for like 33 or 30. It was like 3,500 a month. You have like one for 1,200 a month. Like, has it been weird that someone's like, okay, as soon as you say the price?
So weird. So weird. In fact, I had the client that I just signed, they initially said 25 and then they moved up to 30 and I was like, yes.
Uh,
And I was just like, this is great. I don't even have to, because the person that referred me to her is, I'm charging 25 because I used to work for him. It's easy. Um, but yeah, and then she was just like, yeah, 30. And I was like, that's great.
uh,
I already went up in income, like I was at 22 an hour at the beginning of the year. So it's
uh,
already like even I didn't think that I would be able to make this much for at least another couple years.
yeah, yeah. Because I think we had a coaching call and we were talking about like goals. Right. And we were talking about like focusing on like the monthly income. 'Cause I think at first you said like you thought your business can make maybe like $1,000 a month or something. And
Mm-hmm.
then I think you sent me a text message like a couple like either a week or a day later. No, a day later after we set your new goals. You're like, dude, I'm glad you didn't let me settle for I can't remember exactly what the goal was. You passed it like in 24 hours. Can we talk about that?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, that was just wild. It was like a very surreal. It's like I'm saying surreal, like this for some people, like this amount of money is nothing, but like to me, it just felt surreal because we were literally saying like, 5,000 a month, and you're like, that's way too easy. Like you're already at like 3, 4,000 a month. And I was like, okay, let's say 20, just because
Uh,
I'm like, you know, obviously in the meantime, like it's gonna be some ups and downs so before I get to that point, but um I would like to achieve that and greater, so I'm not gonna limit myself at that point.
uh,
But um I don't even know where I was, but I got way too excited. Yeah, and then so we said that 20 a month. And literally
uh,
the next day, like I had that meeting at 11 a.m. and then it closed. And I texted you and I was like, wow, like that's funny
uh,
how that works. And I mean, I manifested a new phone, gonna have a new
uh,
phone coming in, literally like ordered it yesterday. another couple grand last week. Like, money has just
Wow.
been flowing in at this point, even not through the business, just like because I started like shifting my mindset and just allowing it to come. Because before, I'm very independent. I've always been a very independent person. I don't really like asking for help. I feel really uncomfortable um, leaving my needs or wants up to other people. And I think through this process, I really have gotten way more comfortable with accepting help and asking for it. And, I deserve help. I deserve money. I deserve all the things that I want. It just comes down to like me.
Mhm. Yeah, that's strange, man. Let me ask this question: you excited? Can you wait till like you get a contract for like 10 grand a month?
Can I wait?
Are you excited for it?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. I just need, so that's my other thing is now scaling, where I'm like, I feel very assured that I can pitch something like that to somebody. Like, this is going to cost $10,000 a month. That's going to be my next challenge, is just like leveling up my container of how much I think I can make per month and ask
yeah,
for.
yeah. Do you want to know a trick to that?
Yes.
Okay, so in order to like to charge more money or even higher than what you're expecting, you gotta do
Mhm.
two things. So number one, you should be practicing saying that amount, like either in the mirror, writing it down on a piece of paper and just having it in different spots of your room so you're just constantly seeing and being reminded. And then
Mhm.
generally the first time you pitch that price, you need to go and like pitch it to someone who you know is going to say no. Say it
Mhm.
audaciously. Don't expect them to say yes or no, but to hear them say no to it, understand that it's not gonna like kill you, and
Mhm.
then it becomes a lot easier for you to do it the next time,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, and it's like I can be picky at this point too, because I know that people want this. So it's not like I'm gonna find one person in 10 years. It's literally I've had steady meetings for the past like 2 months. So
Yeah,
there's plenty of
yeah,
room to work that in.
yeah. Because that's crazy. Because like, I mean, you're at 55 to like I think it's like between 53 to like 5,700 a month, and it's been like 66 days since you started like really putting like some emphasis in. So it's just kind of like, man, you have some really good skills going in, both like sales, now your internal beliefs are changed. So yeah, like man, I guess let me ask you a question. Like, what do you think life is gonna be like when you not only now that you're making more money, but like even then, like what opportunities does this kind of give to you now that you're making more money?
Um, Realistically, I want to make sure that I'm all good, like in my family, really. Like I want to get my debts out of the way. I feel like that's a huge weight on my shoulders. It's not really like it's not like anybody's like dying because of their student loan debt, but in my opinion, like I just feel like this like I think I can make even more money if I just like got that out of the way and just like not in the back of my mind. Like we said before, like a house, like I just want somewhere consistent to live where I can pay money into my mortgage and start building that up. And investing. I want to make sure my parents are good with their living situation, with their houses, with my brothers and sisters. And after that point, um, I like teaching has always been like a dream job of mine. So if
Mhm.
I could get myself to a point where I can make plenty of money passively, or even like with 10 hours or less a week, and I can go and teach, like that would be amazing because I don't think that there's enough. I think I talk about this a lot with my peers. I just feel like there's so many teachers, which God bless their hearts. They're going through a lot. But there's so many teachers who just become teachers right out of college and they don't really have any life experience or any type of real skills. They just learned what they learned and now they're like just telling it to the younger generations. Whereas like I feel like the teachers I respected the most and like I got the most out of and I really took in their what they had to teach was when they had their life. They became so good in their field or so well respected. They made so much money that Now they don't even have to worry about that. Like they're retired and now they can come back and be like, I did X, Y, and Z. This is why I'm so good at this. This is, you know what I mean? They actually have the things to back
Mm,
it up. And I want to be a person like that where people can actually look up to me and I actually have real world skills and knowledge that they can actually do something with versus like, this is like basic stuff, you know what I mean? Like geometry. Like I haven't used geometry since I took that class.
uh,
So, well, that's a lie. I was an actuarial science major, so I used it, but not in a practical sense, not to do anything that actually had a weight in my life. So that would be like my dream.
uh, yeah, this is awesome, man. Like, huh, it's funny. It's like a lot of people take forever to start a business, but it's cool that you're starting that when you're young because it's only going to get easier from here. Think about it. Like right now, as hard as it is for, like bills and stuff are getting expensive, you can survive in this time zone and thrive here. Like the next 10 years, next 20 years are just going to be easier and easier and easier because people are going to want to spend even more money. So yeah, man, like this is amazing. Excited for you. Let me ask you a question, right? Because I know before you said you were in a different spot. Oh, my chair popped. You said you were like in a different spot and you said you were able to commit fully. I guess what for maybe someone who's on the fence, maybe someone who's like been thinking about doing something or what regardless if it's a program or just starting their business, I guess like from someone who had to like get everything in order first in their mind, like, what would your advice be to them?
All right. Well, okay. So the first thing I think we need to get clear is the fact that my life is in no way, shape, or form in order it probably never will be, let's be honest. Like it will be in maybe the most perfect way I can get it. But was I like in an amazing spot? No. Am I in an amazing spot now? No, but it's better and the potential is way better. So I think that was the first thing was just like accepting that I don't think I'll ever be ready to do certain things, but will will I be happy or will I have a better chance at succeeding after the fact? Yeah. So that was one thing and just my situation when I started was just like to the point where I was like, "Oh my gosh, like this is so difficult for me to keep going." Like I could have very well kept working at the job I was working at and just kept that job for the last 2 months and maybe made my life a bit easier. Um, but I just couldn't accept um leaving it up to somebody else
Mm,
anymore. So I just really wanted to see what I could do and what my limitations are. And I mean, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot in the past, because I've been serving in bartending like outside of my business. So it's like not the best, most like stable income. It's enough to get my bills paid, but I make more now than I did when I had my other job, and it's only been 2 months.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Sometimes you got to bet on yourself and just trust that you can figure your life out. So,
mhm.
I appreciate that. It's been really cool. So this is gonna be great because like we should probably do another one of this when you're at like maybe 10K a month, when you're at 15, maybe like when you get to 20. Because yeah,
Mhm.
like it's funny. A lot of people think like 20K a month is like this giant leap. It's not really that much different than the stuff you do at 5K. It's just you're gonna be doing it at a much faster scale and then
Mhm.
just making sure the clients that are existing just keep paying you the same amount of money. And that's why we always talk about doing like recurring services first, because you don't have to worry about your clients like dropping off. So
Mhm.
yeah, you have a lot of room. That's exciting. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for, coming on and just sharing your experience. And, it's been really great being able to help you along the way. Um, you know, thank you guys so much for watching this video as well. I'll talk to you soon. I'll talk to you in the future. And take it easy, guys. Done recording in three, two, one, and